welcome to my channel. This is an indication of some of the things that I cover on a regular basis in my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so, and don't forget to click the little bell so that you'll get notified of future videos. Please feel free to share my videos on your social media, and I hope you enjoy the video which follows. Hello everybody. I'm going to be using one of my Christmas gifts. My nephew in Ontario, one of the gifts that he gave me was an Italian cookbook, all vegetarian recipes. I'm anxious to try a number of them, but I'm going to start with Manicotti. And it's a Manicotti that's made with crepes instead of pasta. Seems fairly straightforward and relatively simple. I'll get the items assembled here first to make the crepes, I guess. Well, the ingredients are pretty much straightforward. They're almost the same as any crepe recipe, I guess. It's a cup of flour, and it also gives it in weight, 125 grams. So that's what I did. I weighed out 125 grams. A quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And a cup of water. That gets well combined. Now there's 4 large eggs, one at a time. Just beating them until each egg is combined. One more egg and that's it, I guess. I always find that crepe batter works better if you let this set for 20 minutes to a half hour or so before you start making crepes. It gets all of the flour a chance to be well hydrated and whatever. But I'll get my crepe pan out and I'll meet you over at the stove shortly. Just thinking about this crepe recipe, there is something missing. Normally any crepes that I ever made before had some melted butter in them. This does say to oil the pan a bit, which I think I always do anyway, but never have to oil it again after the first crepe. So we'll see what happens here, I guess. I've got the gas on under there, but it's just been turned on, so it'll take a minute or so for this to get up to temperature. We'll give one a try. First crepe is always not as good as the others. I don't know why that is, but I'll just roll it around to coat the bottom of the pan with it. Okay, I guess. This is a Christmas gift too, from my sister. Using all my Christmas gifts today. It's not too bad, even though it was the first one. Doesn't take as long on the second side, but I want to be sure that it's done. Right, we'll do one more, and I'll show you the finished product of it. Filling in some of the blank spaces. Chance to find out whether the second one will stick or not here. I'm sure any crepes that I ever made before had some butter in the recipe. However, we're going to do these according to the cookbook. A little darker than the other one already, so I think my pan might be getting a bit too hot. Turn the heat back a bit on that. It says I need about 10. I suppose there's enough batter there to make 10. I'll bring you back anyway and show you how many I get when I finish here. Well, this is the last one, and I think if my count was right, I got 8 out of it, so evidently most of mine were a bit larger than what the recipe called for, but that's more than enough for what I have in mind here today anyway. That one's a bit on the misshapen side. And I have been oiling the crepe pan in between, not with much oil, just using that same paper towel that I used to spread it the first time, so whatever's still on the paper towel. First time I think I've ever made crepes that don't have any oil or butter or whatever in the batter. They seem to be coming out quite nicely though. Well, the next thing to do is to assemble the filling. Well, the filling is quite straightforward, I guess. It's 8 ounces of ricotta, and I'm using a partially skimmed ricotta, which is what the recipe suggested, so that's what I bought. 1 egg, a pinch of cinnamon, and a pinch of nutmeg, which I'll grind, and a tablespoon of sugar. It seemed a little strange to put some sugar in, but that's what I'm going to do. You'll need a sauce, a tomato sauce, marinara, for baking them in the bottom of the baking dish, and some over the top as well. This is my own homemade, I guess you'd have to call it marinara. It's multi-purpose. I use it on pasta, I use it on pizza, and all it is, I buy San Marzano strained tomatoes, and there's no skin, it's just a bottle of the almost like a tomato sauce already. I add garlic and onion and Italian seasoning. I use this mixture of Italian herbs, maybe a little olive oil, I guess, because I saute the onion and the garlic. It freezes very well, very easy to make, and I like it better than anything comes out of a can anyway, so that's the sauce that I'll be using. But right now, we add the tablespoon of sugar. It says just a pinch of cinnamon. I don't know if that's a pinch or 2 pinches, but a bit of cinnamon. I love nutmeg, and it's the surprise ingredient in a lot of Italian cooking is a bit of nutmeg. I use it when I make lasagna, and people always ask what that flavor is in the background. Well, it's a bit of nutmeg, and 1 large egg. Get this all mixed together, and then we'll get them into the baking dish. The oven is preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I guess that's the filling all mixed. Well, the first thing to do is to put some sauce in, just to cover the bottom of the baking dish, so your manicotti won't stick to the bottom of the dish, hopefully. That's okay. Now we'll try a crepe. And the crepe goes in the dish, seam side down, so that hopefully it won't unfurl during cooking. Do one more here and then bring you back and show you what it looks like when I finish. Well, this is my last crepe, and it's just as well, but I didn't make 10. 10 would not fit in my baking dish. This is number 8, and it's just filling the dish. So now you want some more of your marinara on top. Not a lot, but it will sort of melt and go down through, hopefully. Perhaps a little bit thicker than it should be. And it doesn't say anything in the recipe about adding any additional cheese, but I happen to have some very good Parmesan, the authentic stuff, Parmigiano Reggiano from Italy, even though it is pre-grated. Italians would frown upon that. It is much better if you grate it yourself, but I often buy it at Costco, but they make me mad. I don't know if you know what I mean, but they have the cheap cut of the cheese, even though it is authentic, has a seal on the end of it. It's Parmigiano Reggiano from Italy. All of the slices that I see at the Costco where I shop has rind on two sides. So it's the outside of the cheese. I presume they'll be able to buy that cheaper from wherever their supplier is. But when you buy it, you've got thick rind on two sides that you can't use. I mean, you can use it in soups or whatever, but you can't grate it and use it. A good cut of Parmesan just has rind on the end of it, and the rest of it is just the pure cheese. And I check every one in the display case every time I go to Costco and can't find one, so I don't think they handle them. This now goes in the oven, 350 degrees. I'll double check here to see how long. 35 to 40 minutes. My oven is preheated, so it's just about to go in. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. And does that ever smell good? I'm going to let it cool for 2 or 3 minutes here before I dish myself up some of it. It's bubbling hot. I'm sure it would burn the mouth at this stage, but I'll meet you in the dining room in 2 or 3 minutes' time. Well, here goes. I've got to try this. I'm having it with just a bit of salad. Try this one here. This one has some of the filling oozing out the end, so I know I'm getting filling. Add a little sauce. very good. I can taste both the nutmeg and the cinnamon. I don't think I've ever had anything pasta before, or a dish like this anyway, with cinnamon, but it adds a nice flavor. Nothing difficult about making it, that's for sure. Well, there are numerous other recipes in that cookbook that I want to try, but it was a really good Christmas gift. Well appreciated. Thank you, Dan. And I hope you'll give this a try if it interests you. I won't be able to put a link down below, but the ingredients are quite simple. I'm sure you can watch the video and just jot down the ingredients. I did let it go for the full 40 minutes in the oven. And it is delicious. Thank you very much for watching.